Hello, people. So, what is up with me? Well, I got a mess. um, I got tired of looking at this Saturn being all funky. Mainly the front nose, like the two fenders, driver and passenger side front, not painted, only primed. The clear coat was starting to fall off of the trunk. Um, so, yeah, I've got the rear plastic here. And as you can see, the clear coat's starting to come off. Um, there's a ton of scratches on the spoiler. So, uh, well, I commenced taking the thing apart. This paint is called Bluebell Blue. Yes, for those that have painted in your lifetime, it is streaked. I just could not get the rhythm with the paint gun that I'm using for some stupid reason. Hoods, for anybody that does have experience, is always the hardest to paint, at least for me. Smaller surfaces, pretty much got them mastered. I did this in my backyard. I think the last video that I posted, I said I would definitely uh, most likely paint it in my backyard if I did. Now, update my life. I do believe the last video I posted, I said something about my daughter and my ex-wife hitting me up to buy my daughter a car that's easier on gas. And well, as some of you know that's been keeping up with the channel, um, I had a Chevy Trax. Well, it's gone. In the process of getting her Ford Fiesta in the shop to get the transmission code problem taken care of, which was covered by a Ford extended warranty program. Um, well, somebody rear-ended her doing 10 to 15 mile an hour, and the ironic thing, they was in a Ford Fiesta. So they didn't meet bumper to bumper, and she went underneath the tracks. $7,700 worth of damage, and the insurance company totaled the car, so it's gone. Now, I was already planning to paint this. It does have a pretty good reflection, as you can see, but I've had to deal with the streaking before. And it's going to involve, the paint did lay down really nice. I'm really happy with that, because the primer, the gun I was using was from Harbor Freight, and it was garbage. I had to sand at least 3 hours on these top surfaces. There's really nice cloud reflection there, and the trees. So, it laid down really good, and I really like this color. It's a Chevy Bluebell Blue, semi-metallic. Now, I've only sprayed a semi-metallic one time. Um, but the streaking, as you can see, I ran the paint gun this way. That's going to take color sanding to get that color to match and get the streaks out of it. But, for the effort I'm doing, it's going to look way better, even with the streaks, than what it did. And that's actually what I'm going for. I definitely know how to do color sanding and body polish and etc. That's no problem. And my new cat, Plain Point Siamese. So I've got it all masked off. The only thing I did not take off for the plastics is the door panel, and that's because of the lock. The door handle itself is easy to take off, which I've already done the driver's side. It's just, it hooks in on this side, and it's got a pin that goes in through the bottom on the door handle. Pretty simple stuff. This panel and the driver's side panel, along with this panel, and I'm pretty sure on the passenger side rear, I took this car to a car wash and it blew the paint clean off. So I'm gonna probably just experiment with one fender, maybe something with a small surface, give it time to cure, because I'm going to be using a primer that is made for plastic. But I am not going to get in a hurry to paint it. It'll probably be a week later when I paint it. Let that primer cure up really nice. And of course, you got to sand it before you paint it. The mirrors will have to come off the doors because I'm not taking the door panels off. What? Now, what else is going on? Well, since the Trax is gone, the insurance company did a payout of like $9,900 from that Chevy Trax. I had to put my life on hold to paint this, and plus I was already out money buying my daughter a car. Definitely worth it, don't get me wrong. I love my daughter and my son. I had most of the money, which her car was $3,000. I had $1,800 and had to put $1,100 on a credit card to finish paying for it. So it was $2,900. I did a rush on paying the $1,100 on my credit card. Had to put everything on hold, and had to wait for the insurance company to do a payout on that, and then spend 2 or 3 weeks looking around for another car that I thought would be worth it. The Dodge Caliber, it's only a one owner car. The rear quarter panels are actually rusted out, like gone, rusted. That's an easy fix, no problem. And in the process, I had $2,200 left over. Me and my fiance actually went in half on this. It needs the transmission fluid and filters changed out. It's a running and driving car, but it does need front end work really bad. And this is going to be my next project. It's not going to take a whole lot, nowhere near what this Saturn has. I drove this home 91 miles. We got 72 miles, and I had to park it at a gas station for an hour because the transmission was overheating at interstate speeds. We went to eat, come back, transmission was cooled down, and we got in a path where it was only like 55, 60 mile an hour, and it did fine, no problems at all. No transmission overheat. So I think I've probably put another 20 miles on it since I got it home. But it's not too bad. Yeah, and as far as projects go, it's nothing like this is going to be. Yes, that has quarter panel rust. I'll probably work that out with something. I may do fiberglass on it. I don't know. Plus the quarter panels are rusted out. Under the back door, no different than the Caliber. Oh, hey Ada, you having fun? There's very little rear quarter panel rust, just a dot right there. It's pretty much a solid car. Somebody did a boo-boo right there. That's going to cause me to have to replace the door and that fender. And it's in due time. But for now, I'll be on this until I'm done. And I haven't recorded any of it because this has been an ongoing thing for a very long time. I'm spending about a year on this thing right now. It will not be done until it's painted and put back together. I had Stanley Steamer come out to probably about a month or so ago and clean the interior. Inside's a mess right now because I got tail lights and paint parts and my Ryobi pressure washer. But it turned out pretty good, except for the mess I made right in here. And on the door panel, that's just sanding, wet sanding, splashing everywhere. But yeah, helping my daughter that put me back. I was going to start on back in April on this, but here it is, almost July, and I've had to delay it since then to try and get more money together to buy parts. Definitely no regret in buying that because I do believe I'm going to like it pretty well. That did put me behind some more too, because as you can see, if you take a look, this front. Now, I took these bumpers off for a reason. As you can see, that is kicked up that way, almost like somebody did Dukes of Hazzard on the bottom side and kicked it. It's not twisted, it's not shoved in, it's just pushed up. Actually, it does look like this bracket right here is pushed back some. I may have to take a crowbar to that to rebend it back. But I've already got this part, and the rear bumper, it was totally smashed on this side. And taking it off resulted in me breaking, I think, 3 or 4 bolts, so I'm going to have to try and get them threaded out. But right back there, totally smashed. And the bumper, I don't think I'm going to be able to salvage it because it's pretty bad. It is busted right there. I mean, 2 bad splits and one really bad at the top. And I just don't know if I can fix that or not and it stay together. Reason being is because, well, it's already out all the way out to the edge. The edge is what holds its form. Now, if it was only cracked up to here, yeah, sure. I'm positive I could fix that. But when the edge is broken, that's a stress point. And if it gets any flex, and that plastic bonding material does not hold, it will break again. It'll pull straight apart, no problem. So that's probably going to end up causing me to have I have to have about $180 to get a replacement, but it's not going to have the word Saturn on the back of it. That's a disappointment because it's an aftermarket and they didn't put the word Saturn in it. Front bumper, it's not too bad. Hey, Simba. You got blue on your whisker. Front bumper's not that bad. And from looking at it, I was wondering why it's got one fog light that's blacked out. But after I got the bumper off, now this thing ain't broken. I think it's got one bad spot in it that's totally repairable. The brake doesn't go all the way out to the edge, so no problem. Okay, it's got a fog light. Somebody blacked it out. And as far as this piece goes, that's supposed to go in with the fog light to hold it in place. It's broke. When I seen that, and I was like, oh, no wonder it's gone. It's broke. And it took the other fog light with it. So that long box right there, that's what's in it. It's the bumper grill, and it is actually designed to hold the fog lights, and I got a new set of fog lights. So this will be a whole piece. Probably. That's deteriorating. I probably should replace that because it is deteriorating and slightly cracked. I guess I could keep it out of the rain. And for those of you familiar, there's my bike in one piece. I put all the panels back on it probably about 2 months ago. I am doing the first season charge on the battery. I parked it with about 78 volts, and when it started warming up, it had 76 volts in it, and it sat for about 6 months. So no problem with battery discharge there. I drove the battery till it was completely dead. It didn't leave me stranded, but I was going like 5-10 miles an hour. So that thing's behaving itself so far. And that's pretty much it, people. That's an update for the home front. And as far as what did I paint that with? A610 Aero Pro. There it is. That's the brand name. Got it from Amazon. It was an $80 paint gun. It actually did fine. I ended up with one run. I just could not get the rhythm for what this paint gun wanted, because that's pretty much what it takes. If you don't get the rhythm, you'll end up with streaks. The overlap, I was doing at least 70%. May have been going, some parts of it actually looks like it's pulsing. If you look close enough, you'll see the chop, kind of like chop marks going through it. So with it being like that, I'm gonna have to slow down. I'm only running it on like 28 psi, and that's it. I started out with like 32 and then backed it down because it looked like it was pulsing. Backed it down to 28. That made it a bit better. The top didn't do too bad. Of course, smaller surfaces. And yes, there's dirt in it. And nothing I can do about that. I painted this in my backyard. The first car I ever painted was in a barn. And it had fisheye galore and dirt like you wouldn't believe. But you know, I'm okay with it. At least it gonna look better. I've got an alignment problem with the keyhole on the back plastic for the trunk. I'm gonna have to try and find out what the problem is there, because the key socket don't move. It's right there. it does not move. And this is, compared to the plastic cover, is off this way. You can still put your key in it and unlock it. That ain't no problem. But it's misaligned, and not quite sure what to do there. But I'll figure it out when I go to put it back together. And if I've got any paint left, which I hope I do, because I'm sure I'm going to do some scratches along the way putting everything back, which is, it's going to be expected. But that's it. There's body panels there. I think that's the back door skin, rear quarter, and yep. And then the side rail, front fender, both of them, and another piece of the side rail. I'm going to have to get more weather stripping for the mold, because somebody tried to band-aid what was originally there and they didn't do it right. So yeah, there's that. I do have a rear quarter that's going to have to be repaired as well. Wherever yeah, right there. I think that's it. Yep, gas cover. It was cracked. Oh, wait a minute. That's a passenger. Yeah. Where's the brake? Interesting. I can't find the crack. Where's the other rear? Okay, I see what's going on. That screw tab's missing. Yep. So that's going to have to be bonded back on somehow. Yep, sure enough. It's right in here. That's where it was broken at. I do have that piece. I'm going to try and plastic bond it on and hope it holds. Plus this fender has a crack here and here. Those are pretty much kept straight, so I may go ahead and try and repair that. Hopefully it don't crack, because it is solid plastic. It's not bumper grade material. It's plastic. That bumper grade stuff, it is too flexible, and I just don't feel comfortable in trusting it to stay together unless I do something behind it to make it not bend. That's the only way. And they're not made to not flex, so that's a downside. But anyway, people, it's good catching up. I'll post another video some other time. I may actually record everything that I do to this, the compass, on tearing the front end apart to see what's wrong with it. So if anybody has a compass, and what year is this thing? I think I've actually got the doors locked. So I think it's a 2006 Rally. Oh wait, it's open. No, it's 2007. Almost a 2008. And this is the problem with the front end, and the transmission is going to be subject for a lot of years, because from what I understand, Dodge used the same transmission with the 2.4 liter engine in a lot of cars. So that'll be rather informational for whoever has a Dodge with a 2.4 liter and CVT transmission. And of course, that'll be posted by itself. I'll probably put in the main title, "What's Wrong with My Dodge Compass?" Just as a heads up. And that's it. Um, any of you that's got any negative comments about the paint, sure, post it in there. If it sucks, okay, that's fine. I'm quite okay with it. And I'm glad everybody watched that's actually watched. Um, and subscribe if you're new to watching, because body work is not only the only thing I do. If you look through my channel, I'm doing electronic stuff like that, and a whole broad other spectrum of stuff, building batteries. I upgraded the whole drive line on this. It was 2,000 watts when I bought it. The motor was upgraded, the controller was upgraded, and the battery. And I built the battery myself. So you never know what I'm going to do. But for now, probably for the next couple of months, it's going to be body work and paint. Because I'm not letting up on this car and starting any other project until this thing is painted and put back together. And I may have to take a look at the random misfire problem with it. It's just accumulated after 10,000 miles. Probably the cheap China parts I put in for the coils. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. But thanks for watching, everybody. Let me turn this around. But thanks for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe, please. That would be great. I'm a little over 400 subscribers. I thought I was going to be able to monetize the channel, but when I went to check on it, YouTube actually increased the amount of subscribers you have to have before you can be monetized, and that number is 500. So great, fantastic. No monetization. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.